We've built two identical rooms, one of which is equipped with automatic sprinkler and the other one which is not. Both have smoke alarms. You'll hear them, the smoke alarms go off, but you're going to see the difference in the fire behavior between the two rooms. What you really want to pay attention to, you're going to see the flames build fairly quickly, but more importantly, you're going to see the smoke layer, which is going to start at the ceiling and start to work its way down. And these demonstrations always make it obvious the amount of smoke that gets thrown off from modern furnishings. These are things that are made with various kinds of plastics and chemicals, and the smoke becomes very thick very quickly, and that smoke is not survivable. It's full of toxins and poison gases and so on. Also, the smoke will become flammable, and at some point you will see where the smoke actually catches fire. Now as you can see, the smoke alarm has already activated. Now at this point you're just waking up. This is already going on in your living room. You can tell you don't have a lot of time to waste to get out. And as we go along, you'll see we're only 21 seconds in. The typical fire response from a department like ours is going to be somewhere around the 6-minute mark at best. So you're 34 seconds in and it's already getting pretty hot and smoky in there. Now if you notice that smoke layer coming from the ceiling working its way down, anybody that's standing in that room is going to have a hard time. At this point, only a minute in, you're going to want to be down near the floor if you're trying to escape that room. Now what's going to happen eventually is as the temperature is rising, that high temperature is dropping down. You'll see the lamp has ignited, the couch is ignited. At some point we're going to get to a temperature in that room where everything will spontaneously ignite at the same time. That's what we call a flashover. You can see how black and thick that smoke is. That smoke is now actually becoming fuel. You'll notice that there are flames in the smoke. The smoke is actually burning. At this point, we're only a minute and a half into this fire. Now we've reached the self-ignition point. Nothing in that room is going to survive, not even a firefighter in full bunker gear. We're 1 minute and 50 seconds since that fire started. Now our crew's going to go in and extinguish that. You can see the extent of the damage. The furniture is destroyed. You can see the damage to the TV, to the couch. But what's important to note is have a look at that back wall. The fire got hot enough that it actually damaged the drywall. That fire would have then gone into whatever room was behind there. So not only was the room destroyed, but that fire was allowed to spread in that short a time, and that's all due to the heat that's allowed to generate in an uncontrolled fire in this kind of situation. You can also see lots of water damage when fire crews come in with an 1.5-inch hose. They're dumping a lot more water than what a sprinkler head's going to use. So on top of all the fire damage, you can see some water damage and physical damage to the furnishings as well. Okay, so we're going to start our second burn now. This is the room that's protected by sprinklers, as you can see. Same contents, the same type of fire. We're starting it the same way. Okay, there goes the smoke alarm. So once again, this is the point where you would be waking up to find something's wrong. And we can see that fire moving from the wastebasket onto the curtain. And once again, we'll see that smoke layer start to build quite quickly. With the synthetic fabrics and furnishings that we have in our homes now, you see that smoke becomes very thick and very black very quickly. So similar to the other room, we're starting to see the smoke layer building from the ceiling coming down. And at that point, we now have the sprinkler activation at just over 1 minute. Now, you'll see the difference in the smoke. We don't have that thick black smoke we're now looking at a whiter smoke, which is also mixed with steam. This room at this point, even to escape through this, would be survivable. The temperature is going to be much lower than at this point in the other fire, and once the smoke clears, you'll see that the actual fire damage is very much less. So you'll see it's obvious that the fire never got as hot in here. There's not even soot on the walls, if you notice. If you compare it to the unprotected room, none of these walls were significantly damaged by the fire. So we're seeing, the curtain that was the original point of ignition obviously has some damage, a little bit on the corner of the couch. But notice that the laptop computer, and you may not have known that there was another laptop in the other room, this one is intact, the other one was completely destroyed. So things like the valuable family heirloom of the little scarecrow here survived that fire, where in the other room the heat and smoke did so much more damage. Also note that the walls are completely intact. That fire was never allowed to spread outside of this room. And most importantly, the fire never got to the point where this room was unsurvivable. So somebody that had to escape through this room was able, even if they had to crawl to get out, was able to get out unharmed. What we're promoting here is the effectiveness of fire sprinklers in the home. This is a fairly new technology. It's not common at this point in many homes, but in new homes there is nothing that promotes more fire safety than having a sprinkler system in your home. The statistic that I always quote that should make this a no-brainer for everyone: there has never been a fire fatality in a building with a working sprinkler system. So smoke alarms are very important, and I will never encourage anyone to do anything less with smoke alarms, because if you have a fire, they're the warning that gets you out. What a sprinkler does is prevent a fire from starting in your home, or if it does start, it's out very quickly.